Have you ever considered that beyond the cacophony of spoken words, fleeting glances, and the superficial dance of social interaction, an arcane language pulses, an unspoken truth woven into the very essence of being? Does an invisible current, an imperceptible magnetic field, truly dictate the unseen flow of human connection, uniting or separating souls with an ancient, primal wisdom that defies logic? And what if the very essence of your masculine spirit, the vibrant core of your life force, projected a luminous signature onto the ethereal tapestry of reality, a signature that resonates, or does not, with the intuitive depths of another's? Spirit? For eons, veiled in the gnosis of forgotten brotherhoods and enshrined in the esoteric doctrines of tantric masters and alchemical sages, resides a profound understanding of human energetic anatomy. They spoke not of rudimentary biology, but of the subtle currents that animate the flesh, of the radiant aura that envelops and extends beyond the physical form, a luminous declaration of one's inner state. This ethereal emanation, your spiritual energy, is not a static construct, but a dynamic, pulsating force that continuously transmits the truth of your being. The pertinent question then arises: how is this intricate, self-written symphony of your soul perceived by those who navigate the world alongside you, particularly the feminine principle, which is often innately attuned to the deeper energetic vibrations that underpin existence? We stand today on the precipice of a revelation, an unearthing of principles long obscured by the shadows of modern forgetfulness. This is not a discourse on superficial stratagems of attraction, but an initiatory journey into the inner sanctum of self-mastery, a rediscovery of the potent alchemical transformation of fundamental life force. We speak, dare I say, of the deliberate and conscious channeling and sublimation of seminal essence, the very crucible of masculine creative and procreative power. This ancient practice, known in its highest form as semen retention, transcends mere physical discipline. It is an act of profound spiritual alchemy, transmuting pure, potent vitality into refined consciousness, into unwavering confidence, into an incandescent sense of purpose that radiates outward, reshaping the very contours of perceived reality. Imagine, if you will, the strengthening of your bioenergetic field, the amplification of your individual auric signature to such profound luminosity that it is tangibly perceived, a magnetic resonance that attracts and calibrates. This is not the realm of abstract theory, but the inevitable consequence of disciplined authorship. Your confidence ceases to be an ephemeral mask and crystallizes into an unassailable state of being, forged in the fire of inner cultivation. Your very physiognomy, the steadiness of your gaze, the firmness of your posture, the deep, resonant timbre of your voice, transmutes into an undeniable physical manifestation of this blossoming inner sovereignty. This is the profound energetic shift, a movement away from the paradigm of external validation and scarcity to migrate towards an overflowing abundance rooted in an inner wholeness, a self-generated wellspring of power. It is this fundamental recalibration of your entire vibrational blueprint, this authentic energetic signature, that the feminine principle intuitively perceives. For they are attuned, often at a subconscious and primal level, to the authenticity and profound depth of the masculine core, instinctively probing the very bedrock of your inner strength, seeking the silent, unwavering certainty of leadership that emanates solely from a man who has embarked upon and mastered his own being. However, let it be irrevocably understood, the ultimate trajectory of this profound initiation transcends mere external attraction. That, in truth, is but a luminous echo, a delightful byproduct of a far grander undertaking. The true odyssey lies within the systematic activation and harmonization of your most vital energetic nexus points, your chakras opening pathways to higher states of consciousness, cultivating unparalleled mental clarity and awakening an intuitive wisdom that transcends the confines of linear thought. It is the conscious utilization of your primordial sexual energy, not as an end in itself, but as a consecrated gateway, an antechamber to profound spiritual enlightenment and reunification with your higher self. If the poignant whispers of these ancient truths resonate deeply within the silent chambers of your soul, if you are prepared to gaze beyond the veil of common perception, to decode the hidden lexicon of energetic resonance, and to unlock the long-guarded secrets of your own magnificent being, then this revelation, this fragment of forgotten gnosis, is precisely for you. Embrace this journey, for it promises an authentic, transformative reinterpretation of the esoteric universe around you. I urge you, therefore, to mark your initiation. Press the like button as a silent affirmation of your intention. Share your deepest reflections and questions in the comments. And subscribe to our channel to continue this unparalleled voyage into the unfathomable depths of truth. For this, my fellow seeker, is only the first threshold, the inaugural breath of a profound teaching long awaiting its resurgence, inviting you to step further into a realm where the invisible undeniably manifests, and where the authentic power of your spirit awaits its glorious unveiling. True alchemy, my dear seekers of essence, does not manifest in the crucibles and retorts of the mundane laboratory, but in the sacred sanctuary of your own being. Seminal retention, or Brahma Acharya in its highest sense, is not mere physical abstinence, but the arcane art of reversing the flow of the most potent and creative energy within you. It is a process of internal transmutation, where the vital essence, usually dissipated in the ephemeral pursuit of external pleasure, is recanalized, elevated, and refined. Imagine it as the mystic furnace, where primordial energy, the Jing of the ancient Taoists, is carefully distilled, not to be lost, but to become Qi, vital energy, and ultimately Shen, spiritual energy. Vedic texts whisper about Oyas, the supreme essence of vigor, the final product of this internal alchemy, which illuminates the mind and nourishes the soul, converting raw impulse into conscious, directive power. This alchemical process is not random. It obeys immutable cosmic laws. When seminal energy is retained and transmuted, it ascends through the subtle energy channels, the nadis of the yogis, or the meridians of Oriental medicine, traveling up the spine, activating and purifying the power centers, the chakras. From the base, Niladhara, where dormant Kundalini energy resides, this life force moves upward, irrigating each energetic vortex, from Svadhisthana and Manipura, centers of creation and personal power, to Anahata, the heart, Vishuddha, the throat divine expression, and Ajing-Yang, the third eye of intuitive perception. At Sahasrara, the thousand-petaled lotus at the crown, it culminates, opening portals to cosmic consciousness. This ascension is not merely theoretical. It is felt as an exponential increase in mental clarity, sensory acuity, and an intuition that transcends linear logic. The manifestations of this transformation are profound and undeniable. Sexual energy, once reoriented, infuses your consciousness with a lucidity and expansion that allows you to perceive the invisible web of connections permeating all existence. Your self-confidence, far from being an inflated ego, transforms into an unwavering serenity, an inner certainty of your own worth and connection to the divine, which needs no external validation. It is not an ostentatious confidence, but a radiant one. And purpose, which might have once seemed a hazy, distant dream, reveals itself with crystalline clarity, a call resounding from the deepest core of your being, aligning your actions with a greater purpose. Great masters and visionaries throughout history, such as Nikola Tesla, who understood the primacy of energy and its conservation, or the ancient Indian rishis, who dedicated their lives to the practice of brahmacharya, are silent testaments to this power. For the skeptical, a mind conditioned by materiality may resist such revelations. However, Mystery schools, from Eleusis to the Templars, have always guarded this knowledge as one of their most sacred secrets. It is not about repression, but about masterful redirection. The impulse of your mundane passions transmutes into the gold of spiritual enlightenment. There exist obscure manuscripts, veiled for centuries, detailing this inner science, not as an ascetic practice of denial, but as the supreme art of affirming life, elevating it to its highest potential. This is the path for the adept who seeks not only knowledge, but the embodiment of power itself, the fusion of the human with the divine. The practice of seminal retention is a master key to unlocking vast reserves of energy awaiting to be awakened. Within you, consider then that this is the first key to a chamber of knowledge. The energy, once dispersed, now concentrated and elevated, is ready to be applied. It does not deplete itself, but is the foundation for the next stage of the journey. What use will you make of this renewed force? How will this higher consciousness manifest in your world? The newfound confidence and revealed purpose are only the threshold to a wider cosmic dance, to which this transformed energy is the entrance. Because the true question is not just how to retain, but how to direct this torrent of power to manifest your highest reality. It is this application and the development that awaits higher consciousness that we will address in our next revelation, unveiling the methods for channeling this energy into creative manifestation and arcane power in the world. The energy, once retained and transmuted, does not simply abide within the physical receptacle as a mere reservoir. It radiates, expanding beyond the contours of the dense body, weaving a vibratory tapestry that ancient masters called aura, or, in more scientific and modern terms, the human electromagnetic field. This is the subtle envelope that surrounds you, a unique energetic signature, shaped by the quality of your consciousness and the vitality of your essence. Esoteric compendiums of the East, such as the Yoga Sutras and the Tantras, and the Hermetic traditions of the West, allude to this emanation, teaching that the purity and intensity of this force are directly proportional to the degree of self-mastery and mastery of inner energy flows. It is not an adornment, but the visible, or rather, tangible manifestation of your inner alchemy, and it is precisely this amplified vibratory signature that, undeniably and often unconsciously, women are capable of perceiving. This is not about superficial attraction dictated by the ephemeral, but about a profound resonance with the life force emanating from your being. Your vital energy, once dissipated, now concentrates and elevates its frequency, creating a field of attraction that transcends logic and verbal expression. It is an instinctive recognition of inner strength, stability, and purpose. Ancient manuscripts, such as the esoteric Kama Sutra, a lesser-known branch that explores subtle energetic connections and internal magnetism, suggest that true seduction lies in the radiation of pure life force, capable of igniting the flame of recognition in another, a harmonization of frequencies. This perception is a silent language that speaks directly to the intuitive center, revealing the integrity and wholeness of the self. This radiation of a robust electromagnetic field is not a merely passive phenomenon. It becomes a vector of influence, an invisible magnet that modulates your interactions with the world. Great leaders, shamans, spiritual teachers of all eras, all, without exception, possessed an undeniable aura of power, a presence that commanded attention and inspired reverence. In the annals of the Library of Alexandria, and in fragments of the Nag Hammadi texts, veiled references are found to the art of cultivating this charismatic potency, not through external manipulation, but through the intensification and conscious projection of one's own vital energy. They understood that the flow of life, when retained and elevated, becomes personal magnetism, opening doors and aligning circumstances in an almost miraculous way, transforming the adept into a beacon of intention and manifestation. The internal alchemy that operates through retention transforms this vital energy, or Jing, as the Taoists called it, into Qi, subtle energy, and finally into Shen, spirit. This transmutation not only strengthens the aura, but refines the very structure of the subtle body. The texts of the Neijing Tu and the Shujin Tu Taoist maps of internal alchemy that detail the flow of energy in the body detail how this energy, once circulated through the energetic channels, meridians, revitalizes the organs, clears the mind, and fundamentally activates centers of higher perception, such as the pineal gland, often called the third eye. It is the source of heightened intuition, a vision beyond the veil, and a resilience that transcends worldly vicissitudes. The aura, in this sense, is the external expression of this alchemical refinery, a reflection of the purity and strength you cultivate in your inner sanctuary. Understand, then, that this knowledge is not for the curious, but for those who yearn to embody a new level of existence. The feminine perception I mentioned is only a reflection of an energy field that will now pulse with a new intensity, a new vibration. Strengthening your electromagnetic field is the next step on the journey, a door to deeper interactions and the ability to influence your environment in previously inconceivable ways. It is not just about being perceived, but about consciously radiating, using this power to shape your reality with greater precision and intention. But how does this conscious radiation manifest? And how can we direct this magnetism towards the soul's highest purposes? The next phase of our journey will unveil the secrets of conscious projection and mastery over the subtle realms that await your command. For the confidence of which we now speak is not mere bravado, a facade erected to deceive the world or oneself. It is not the arrogance of an immature soul, but the serene, unwavering radiance of one who has unveiled their true essence. It is the undeniable consequence of the inner alchemy we have discussed, where the lead of insecurities and doubts is transmuted into the pure gold of inner certainty. When the energetic channels are purified and the Shen, the spirit, in its highest manifestation, as described by ancient Taoist masters in Forbiddens, texts like the Book of Unity and Multiplicity settles on its throne in the heart and mind. A crystalline lucidity emerges. This clarity bestows a sense of purpose so rooted, so undoubtable, that it becomes a beacon, a guiding star, not only for oneself, but for all who cross one's path. This is the confidence of beings who inhabit the truth of their own being, of whom myths speak as wise kings and oracle priestesses, whose presence alone was enough to inspire devotion and move mountains. This radiance of self-confidence and purpose manifests as an unconscious attraction, a subtle but powerful magnetism that is not the work of artifice, but of essence. It is not manipulation, but resonance. The ancient Egyptians, in their pyramid texts and books of the dead, spoke of Ka and Ba, the life force and soul personality that, when aligned and purified, granted the pharaoh divine authority, and charisma, a commanding power that transcended mere military strength. Similarly, in more mystical cultures, like the Sufi, there is the concept of baraka, a blessing or spiritual energy emanating from an enlightened being, attracting fortune, wisdom, and healing to their surroundings. This magnetism does not seek, but attracts. It does not pursue, but is pursued. It is not an effort, but a natural consequence of the fullness of being, a cosmic dance in which reality submits to its vibration. This unconscious attraction is not limited to the romantic or social realm, but permeates all spheres of existence. It manifests in the synchronicity of events, in the ease with which doors open and resources materialize. Understand, my disciples, that the universe is a mirror. When your essence vibrates with the certainty of your purpose, the cosmos responds, orchestrating encounters, opening opportunities, and revealing paths that previously seemed hidden. It is not coincidence, but the manifestation of a universal law, understood by the ancient alchemists who, in treatises like the Emerald Tablet, affirmed, as above, so below, and as below, so above, to perform the miracles of the one thing. Your inner self is reflected in your outer self. This capacity for attraction, this magnet of destiny, is the direct result of integrating what your body, mind, and spirit truly desire with manifest reality. The oracles of Delphi and the Zen masters, who spoke of unity with the Tao, did not propose an ethereal mystical fusion, but a deep and practical alliance between inner intention and outer action. This unwavering confidence, this purpose that pulses in every cell of your being, is perceived by others not as arrogance, but as an undeniable truth, a force field that inspires trust and draws them into your orbit. It is the manifestation of the light body or golden aura, to which many esoteric traditions refer, an electromagnetic field, so powerful and harmonious that it exerts a beneficial influence on the environment and people. The question that arises, then, is this, if this attraction is largely unconscious, a spontaneous manifestation of your inner alchemy? How can we elevate it to the level of conscious mastery? How can we not only attract by resonance, but also direct this magnetic energy with deliberate intention, shaping reality with the precision of a divine artist? For this is the difference between being a luminous beacon and being the navigator who charts the course. The next step in our arcane journey will reveal how this instinctive attraction can be transmuted into intentional projection, a conscious mastery of the subtle currents of the universe awaiting your guidance. If mastery resides in intentional projection, then the compass for such projection is based on an archaic understanding of the energy the cosmos is deposited in the heart, of what they call the masculine. Make no mistake, we are not speaking merely of brute force or social gender conventions, but of the primordial essence that is directive, penetrating, and manifesting. It is the flame that ignites will, the impetus that initiates the journey, the seed that holds within itself the potential of a universe. And at the heart of this masculine energy resides an even more potent and misunderstood force, sexual energy, not as a mere biological impulse, but as the very crucible of creation, a vibratory portal of immeasurable power, the Jing of the ancient Taoists, the Kundalini of the Rishis, the Alon Vital of esoteric philosophers, the divine spark that, if properly understood and directed, can shape reality with the precision of a world sculptor. However, throughout the centuries, humanity has subtly deviated from this sacred knowledge. Distorted dogmas and moralities, often born from fear of one's own primordial power, have stigmatized and suppressed this energy, reducing it to pure instinct or taboo. The consequences of this distortion are palpable in the modern world. An epidemic of mental confusion, wavering purpose, and a widespread loss of intuitive clarity. Humanity, disconnected from its deepest source of creative power, becomes a broken vessel, unable to contain the light of divine intention. Ancient traditions, from the Egyptian mysteries to the tantric schools of India and the fertility rites of prehistoric peoples, understood that the denial of this energy is the denial of life itself and of the creative impulse of the universe. They knew that this source serves not only for physical procreation, but for the co-creation of all realms of existence. Inner alchemy, that great secret hidden in symbols and parables, reveals that sexual energy, when transmuted, ascends through the energetic centers of the body, from the densest to the most subtle, purifying and activating each one. It is not repression, but redirection, like a river that, instead of being lost in the swamp, is channeled to irrigate the most fertile fields or generate the energy that illuminates a city. This sublimation is what awakens the mental clarity that allows you to discern truth amidst noise, a sharp intuition that guides you beyond the veils of illusion, and an expanded consciousness that connects you to the invisible fabric of the universe. It is the union of Shiva and Shakti within you, the the cosmic dance of masculine and feminine principles within your own being, which generates Bindu, the point of pure and limitless creation. Ancient practices, often labeled forbidden or obscene by the ignorant, such as the secret rituals of Tibetan Vajrayana or the techniques of Taoist microcosmic orbit, were nothing more than sophisticated methods for channeling this vital energy. It did not seek fleeting pleasure, but enlightenment and longevity through the conscious mastery of this primordial force. Masters like Mantak Chia or the enigmatic texts of Xiaopa Yu detail how sexual essence Qing can be transmuted into vital energy Qi and subsequently into spiritual energy Shen, elevating consciousness to divine heights. It is a process of internal refinement where the philosophical mercury of one's essence is distilled into the alchemical gold of pure wisdom and creative power. Discipline is not a burden, but the key to unleashing the dormant dragon within you. Thus, mental clarity and intuition are not casual gifts, but direct manifestations of how much you have connected with this inner energy source and purified it. The veil of illusion begins to dissolve, and reality reveals itself in its deepest layers. You understand, then, that the ability to attract or manifest, which once seemed an unfathomable mystery, is the conscious projection of your own elevated and refined vital energy. It is the true art of creation, the bridge between pure potential and tangible manifestation. But how exactly does this process of transmutation begin? What are the practical steps, the internal rituals that will allow you to activate and direct this inexhaustible source of power? It is these arcane keys that we will delve into in our next encounter, unveiling the secrets of energetic alchemy awaiting your rediscovery. This inexhaustible source of power, of which we speak, pulses through specific energetic centers in your subtle body, the chakras. If the transmutation of essence is the forge, these vortices are the furnaces where energy is refined and distributed. They are not mere mystical wheels, but condensers of your life force, governing health, emotions, and perception. The vitality and confidence you seek do not arise from chance, but from the harmony and full activity of these centers, especially those residing at the base of your being and the seat of your will. They are the invisible gears of your maximum potential, waiting to be consciously engaged. Among these energetic pillars, Muladhara, the root anchored at the base of the spine, is the guardian of primordial vitality and fundamental security. When dormant or obstructed, chronic fatigue, fear, and insecurity assail you, cutting your connection to earthly life. Ascending, we find Svadhisthana, the sacral, which pulses with the energy of creation, passion, and emotional flow. Its blockage manifests as apathy, reproductive dysfunction, and a deep distrust in your ability to feel and create. At the fulcrum of your personal power, Manipura, the solar plexus, radiates the flame of self-confidence, willpower, and the capacity to act. These three, when misaligned, create a cascade of imbalances that trap you in the mediocrity of being. Ancient wisdom, inscribed in Indian Tantra Shastras and Tibetan alchemical treatises, has always pointed to the purification of these centers as the path to sovereignty of the spirit, because within them lies the key to radiant vitality and unwavering confidence. But how does this retuning occur? Inner alchemy requires more than mere intention. It demands precise and proven methods. Esoteric traditions, from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which conceal the mysteries of pranayama, to obscure Sufi treatises on the breathing of the divine name, reveal that the key lies in controlling prana, the cosmic life force. Through rhythmic, deep breathing, guided visualizations that ignite colors and symbols within each vortex, and the vibration of bija mantras, seed sounds of power, these centers can be awakened, purified, and aligned. Imagine a dormant furnace that, when fed with sacred oxygen and pure intention, rekindles its flame, transmuting inertia into dynamism. It is the vibratory resonance that unties energetic knots, allowing the energy of purified Jing to rise unhindered. History is replete with accounts of masters who, by mastering this art, manifested a vitality that defies time and an overwhelming presence. The immortal Taoists and Indian Siddhas, whose exploits are described in texts like the Goraksha Padati, spoke not of simple exercises, but of an inner forge where the serpentine fire of Kundalini is awakened and guided upward. It is a process of cooking impurities, of fusing opposites Shiva and Shakti, Yang and Yin within each center, creating a state of union and wholeness. Confidence is no longer a fragile mental construct, but the natural emanation of a being whose energetic pillars are perfectly aligned and pulsing. True confidence is the unshakable certainty that your being is in profound harmony with the cosmic flow, manifesting as an aura of power and serenity that precedes your presence, opening paths where only obstacles once stood. Therefore, activating and balancing these centers are not just practices for momentary well-being, but profound rituals of self-re-engineering, a return to your true nature. When Muladhara anchors you firmly, Svadhisthana allows you to flow with creativity and passion, and Manipura empowers you with an iron will. Life unfolds with unimaginable clarity and potency. Vitality radiates from within you, and confidence becomes your second skin, not as arrogance, but as the stillness of one who knows who they are and why they came. This is the foundation, the non-negotiable bedrock for the next stage of your journey. For with these firm energetic pillars, you can learn to project this refined and conscious energy to shape your own reality with the power of your divine intention. But how does this projection manifest in the outer world? And what secrets lie hidden in the realms of conscious manifestation? Where will meets matter? As we unveil the veils obscuring the understanding of subtle energy, we confront the undeniable truth. The inner is always reflected in the outer. It is no coincidence that masters of all ages possess a presence that transcends the ordinary, an almost palpable aura that fills the space even before their arrival. How could the radiance of an inner sun remain hidden? The projection of refined energy emanating from balanced energetic centers is not limited to an invisible vibratory field. It translates into tangible forms, encoded in body language, the resonance of the voice, the magnetism of the gaze. Your body, this earthly temple, becomes the canvas where inner alchemy paints the landscape of your essence. Observe the veiled teachings in ancient statues, the erect posture of pharaohs, a symbol of divine authority, the imposing serenity of meditating Buddhas. These are not mere representations, but diagrams of the physical manifestation of a powerful auric field. A being whose energy flows freely moves with intrinsic fluidity, free from the tension that imprisons the body. The posture of someone with a strong aura is one of almost regal dignity. Relaxed shoulders, open chest, erect spine, not from effort, but as a natural emanation of an energetic spinal column that extends to infinity. It is the stillness of an unshakable gravitational center, a force that imposes itself without needing demonstration. And what about the gaze? The eye is the window to the soul, but for the initiated, it is the portal of projection. The eye contact of a person with a powerful aura is neither evasive nor aggressive. It is direct, profound, and possesses an intensity that transcends simple sight. It is a gaze that penetrates the surface, that reads unspoken truth, conveying ancient security and knowledge. It is not the gaze of a predator, but that of a being who understands interconnectedness, whose essence radiates through the eyes, instilling trust and respect, and sometimes unsettling those who hide in illusions. It is the divine spark reflected in the depths of a bottomless well, attracting and revealing. Vocality, in turn, transforms from a mere vehicle for words into an instrument of soul resonance. The vocal tone of someone with a strong aura gains clarity and resonance that captures attention, not by volume, but by the depth of its vibration. It is a voice that resonates with truth, conveying the underlying energy of their pure intention. Great orators, mentioned in lost texts such as the Sutras of the Resonant Heart, considered allegories by many, possessed voices capable of calming storms and moving mountains of inertia. It is the vibration of the Logos, the creative word manifested through the vocal temple, a melody that harmonizes and inspires, reverberating deep within the listener and evoking a profound response. These transformations, understand, are not acts of external emulation, but intrinsic emanations of a being who has achieved profound harmony. Inner alchemy not only transmutes essence, but visibly reflects it, revealing the majesty that resides within each one. Your presence becomes a beacon, a catalyst in the fabric of reality, influencing the environment and those around you. But if the aura manifests so strongly in the body, how does it interact with the minds of others? What invisible forces are activated when the energetic field of one being expands beyond itself, touching the field of another? This interaction, my dears, is the silent resonance that manifests beyond words. When your aura expands, it does not collide, but intertwines, dialoguing with the energetic field of others, instigating latent awakening, reflecting the truth that each person carries. It is a tacit invitation to elevation, a whisper from the cosmos that vibrates through your presence. The invisible force is love in its purest manifestation, the highest intention it seeks to harmonize and enlighten. Understand, then, that your journey is not solitary. You are lighthouses in a sea of consciousness, and the light you emanate is the link that connects the visible and invisible realms. True mastery lies not only in possessing the light, but in allowing it to flood the world, transforming reality. With every pulse of your refined existence, meditate now on this mystery. If your being has become an echo of truth, what symphony are you willing to compose with the universe around you? How will your personal melody influence the orchestra of existence? If this profound reflection stirred your spirit and moved your quest, share this whisper with other seekers. May this brotherhood of souls thirsting for knowledge expand, for with numbers, our light amplifies. Subscribe to this channel and let the doors to new revelations open before your eyes, inviting you at every step to an even deeper journey. And if you are ready for the next revelation, if your soul craves more, the portal is open to the dance of the arcana, symbols and meaning. In the depths of the soul, your next step awaits.